In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single card from the new out of position promo from worst all the way to best in NBA 2K23 My Team. As you guys can see, we got the Pink Diamond Taco Fall, the two Dark Matters and Jimmy Butler, and Bill Russell. And I'll be ranking all of these cards from the worst, who I do believe is the Pink Diamond Klay, all the way to who I think is the best in this out of position drop. But like I said, the worst card in this set is going to be the Pink Diamond Klay Thompson. If you guys know the joke and you know the inside scoop of why Klay's at the center position, it's definitely a really funny joke that 2K made. I mean, basically, if you guys don't know, I think it was 2K20, I do believe, or maybe even 19, where every time you'd use a Klay Thompson card, he would always get matched up against the center. Like when you're on the defensive end, he would just automatically guard the center. So they're kind of trolling him, making him a center position. He's just really not that great of a card. I mean, if you want to, like, you know, fully switch your lineup around to have Klay Thompson actually play shooting guard, you need to have like Sengun at point guard, have like, I don't know, Bill Russell at small forward. Like, you'd have to like really mix up your lineup to get Klay Thompson to be able to play the two. But I just think overall as a card, if you're actually running him at the center spot, obviously 6'6", not going to be that great of a card. But next one here at my number 11 spot is actually going to be one of the Galaxy Opal cards, and that's going to be Aaron Gordon. I just don't think this card really does anything too crazy for you. He's a 6'8" shooting guard, which I guess is nice, and all around his stats and badges are good, but I don't like these dribble sigs on your shooting guard, only having the Kawhi Leonard size up, which I just don't feel is a great size up. And then the Kevin Durant escape, I mean, it's a decent escape, but I don't think it's like a great dribble sig. And then also his jump shot, I don't feel like it's going to be that great on very quick timing. So in my opinion, I think this Aaron Gordon card will look good on paper, stats and badges wise, but in game, I really don't think his animations are up to par with some of the amazing cards in this out of position drop. Next one here on my number 10 spot though is going to be Pink Diamond Herbert Jones. I just think he's a better shooting guard than a guy like Aaron Gordon. He's 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, going to play some lockdown defense with a 97 block, 96 lateral quickness, 95 perimeter, and a 95 interior defense as well. So I mean, Herbert Jones will be a very good defensive shooting guard. And if you guys are trying to run like a budget lineup and you need that like tall shooting guard to play defense, because Reddish and RJ Barrett really aren't the best defenders in the game, so Herbert Jones is going to be a great lockdown to run for a budget squad at the two spot. And then sigs wise, I mean, he's got the Paul George dribble style, or Paul George size up, I should say, which is not a terrible size up in my opinion. And then the Kobe escape is really good. And then Herbert Jones release on very quick. Not exactly sure how that's going to look in game, but all around, I think Herbert Jones probably the 10th best card from the out of position drop. But at my number 9 spot is going to be this Pink Diamond Luke Walton card. I think he could be a solid budget point guard, maybe like another Denny Advia. He's a 6'8" point guard with a 6'8" wingspan. I mean, his stats are all around decent, can play solid defense in game, has an okay jump shot, I would say, on quick timing. To me, he just looks like a better Denny, maybe even like, yeah, I would say maybe even on the same level. I mean, could you say he's on the same level as a Magic Johnson? I'm not sure, because he's got way better dribble sigs. He's going to move a lot better than a card like Magic. He's probably got a better release than Magic. And stats and badges wise, I mean, he's not going to be up to par badges, but stats are very, very well rounded. So I mean, this should be a really good budget point guard in this Pink Diamond Luke Walton. But at my number 8 spot is going to be Pink Diamond Al Horford. I think he's basically just a better shooting guard than a Herbert Jones. They're basically going to do the same thing, except that Al Horford is going to be 6'10" compared to Herbert Jones being 6'7". Because I mean, this card is also going to be a great defender all around, having an 80 block, 90 steal, 90 block, 93 lateral quickness, 92 perimeter, and a 92 interior defense. Jump shot wise, I'm not exactly sure how this release is going to look like in game, but sigs wise, I mean, the Tatum size up is decent. It's not a great size up in my opinion. Kobe escape is good, MJ dribble style good. I mean, this card's just a 6'10" shooting guard with like good all around stats, and that's what's going to make him super glitchy at that shooting guard position. But at my number, I believe 7 spot is going to be Pink Diamond Matisse Thybulle. I think he probably is one of the better Pink Diamonds in the set. He's going to be a point guard shooting guard, 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. I think he's going to be such a good defender on the perimeter, and that's why I think he's a little bit better than a card like Luke Walton. And his jump shot is on very quick, and he's also got a lot better dribble sigs than a card like Luke Walton. He's got the Donovan Mitchell size up, which is one of my favorites in the game. He's got the John Wall escape, which is really good, and the Dame behind the back. But this defense for this card is going to be super elite with a 98 block, 98 steal, 98 lateral quickness, 97 perimeter, and a 94 interior defense, also having tons and tons of Hall of Fame defensive badges. So all around, I think Matisse Thybulle is going to be kind of in the middle for this out of position drop. But at my number 6 spot is going to be the Galaxy Opal Draymond Green. He's going to be a small forward point guard, 6'7" with a 7'1" wingspan. So all of these cards are basically going to be at the point guard position. Is definitely a super heavy point guard drop, and Draymond is going to be Draymond, except up that he's gonna be able to play the point guard position, have a jump shot on very quick timing, and then he also does have the Steph Curry size up with the Kobe Bryant escape. I'm not really sure how I feel about the Curry size up. It definitely is decent, but just all around, he's gonna be like a Draymond Green card who can move a little bit at point guard and just be a very solid all-around card. And I would say at my number 6 spot in this out of position drop. But at number 5 is gonna be the Galaxyable Scottie Barnes. I do think he's a decent amount better than a guy like Draymond. He's gonna be a 6'8" point guard with a 7'2" wingspan and just be such an elite defender. I think basically he's just like an upgraded version, a taller version of a Matisse Thybulle. That's kind of the way that I look at Scottie Barnes, because he's about the same on the defensive end. Jump shot wise, not sure how this release is going to look like on very quick. If I remember correctly from his Amethyst, I think he has kind of a quick jump shot, so on very quick timing should definitely be a good release. But the best thing about this card is the fact that they gave him the Steve Francis size up, which we all know is the best size up in the game and one of the best dribble sigs. And then he also does have the John Wall escape with the Dame behind the back, and then they also gave him like quick drops off one and some pretty good dunk packages as well. So all around, I think Scottie Barnes is probably the 3rd best point guard in this drop. At my number 4 spot, that just shows how many good point guards there are, because at my number 4 spot is going to be the dark matter Bill Russell, who I feel like is probably the best small forward or second best small forward in the game. He's going to be 6'10" with a 7'4" wingspan. I mean, we did just get Danny Ferry, so maybe I don't think he'll be better than Danny Ferry. I'm not exactly sure, but he'll probably be like the new best defender in the game. Him and Jonathan Isaac are probably tied for like who's the best defender, because his tendencies and animations are also going to be ridiculous, like 99 shot contest, 99 block, 95 on ball steal, and then basically perfect stats and badges. Like literally has every single defensive half in the game and basically like 98 95s in the defensive category. So probably the new best defender. He's super athletic. I mean, the card is just unreal, except when you go to the jump shot. I mean, it's not a bad release. Like, it's the Jokic base with the Kobe Bryant upper on quick time, and like it's definitely a solid release. And then they also gave him the Donovan Mitchell size up, which means he can move a decent amount for your shooting small forward. So I think this probably is the best or second best small forward in the game. I mean, he's just so elite on the defensive end, and that's what you need from your small forward at this time of the year. You don't really need too many guys that can handle the ball. Look at Tim Thomas, right? You want a guy that just can be able to play lockdown defense. He'll probably just be an upgraded Jonathan Isaac. But looking at the 3rd best card, in my opinion, from the out of position drop is going to be Jimmy Butler, who, I mean, you can honestly make an argument that Bill Russell is actually a little bit better than Jimmy. I'm not sure who's better, because it really comes down to Jimmy Butler's release on very quick timing. I feel like it could be a good release because he does do like a fadeaway shot. I don't know if that's going to help the card or hurt the card, because it could be maybe sort of uncontestable. But my favorite thing about this card is definitely the tray escape, going to help this card move a lot on the offensive end. And then they also gave him some really good dribble sigs, like the quick drops off one. So all around, I would say Jimmy Butler, the 3rd best card from this set. At my number 2 spot, I think Sengun is probably the new best point guard in the game. He's 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, and these stats all around are damn near perfect. Like, he is such a good defender. 95 block, 93 interior defense, 90 steal, 91 perimeter. They even gave him an 88 ball handle, 92 speed with ball, and they gave him Hall of Fame claim breaker, dimer, floor general, quick first step, and unpluckable, all on Hall of Fame. And then if you look at his animations, he's got his jump shot and very quick timing, which I feel like will be a solid release for a point guard. But then they also gave him the tray escape, just like Jimmy Butler, and they gave him some very solid dribble sigs, which means for your 6'10" point guard, you'll be able to move at a very high level. And all around, I think Sengun probably the new best point guard in the game, but not 100% sure on it. And then the final card and the best card in this out of position drop, I feel like it's got to be Taco Fall, because if you look at this card, he's going to be a 7'6" power forward with an 8'2" wingspan. So that is already ridiculous, right? And then you take a look at his shooting. He's got a 73 three-pointer and 84 mid-range. I know a lot of people are going to bring up the 64 speed and the 64 acceleration. That is definitely going to hurt the card, but most people in the game run Monty Williams, and he's really not that expensive for a coach. So now you're up to a 69 speed, right? 69 speed and a 78 three-pointer. If you give him a +4 3, he can now have an 82 three ball, so he can knock down threes at a very high level. And then you look at the speed, you can get him up to a 73 speed. I mean, that is not that bad when you compare him to a Mark Eden. Yes, he will be a little bit slow in game. Mark Eden does have 79 speed base, and then you can get him up to like, I think, 89 or 88, I should say. So obviously, yes, he's not going to be able, like, speed wise, to be able to keep up with like the D-Robs and the Kareems. But if we're talking about against Yao Ming at the center position, this is your new best chance of getting a stop on Yao Ming, and I think for that reason, he's going to be the best card in this drop, because he can get every shooting badge in the game, which means this card has also a good jump shot, very easy to green in game. Like the same thing on his Amethyst, it is the same jump shot, but now it's on quick timing. So he's got a great jump shot. I think he's just going to be a slower version of Yao Ming, which yes, isn't going to be the best, but I mean, him and Sengun, I guess you could flip-flop, or like Jimmy and Bill Russell, but I think Taco Fall is going to have the most impact, in the game, having that 73 3-ball base and just being able to knock down threes very, very consistently. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my ranking, and let me know some of your guys' favorite cards from this new out of position drop, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.